Hey Ryan, what's the significance for you facing your old team?
I mean, the significance for me is that it's a division game and that we, both teams are, fighting to, keep our seasons going, once the regular season gets to a finish. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be cool to see some old friends and whatnot, but this is ultimately about the Eagles in Washington, and so it's a significant game as far as, both teams going forward.
Will you have to check any personal emotions going into it?
No, I won't have to do that. I mean, this will be 14 games in now. At this point, it's like there's no more of any of that. So it's it's all about just playing ball and hopefully getting this win.
How would you characterize this season for you? And you had the injury at the beginning of the season, and just how filling in for BG. How would you describe everything this season?
It's been tough at times. I mean, I've obviously having to miss most of training camp with my thumb, and then trying to adjust to playing with that at the beginning of the season, and still working to get the motion back in that. But it's been challenging at times, just because of the production hadn't been what I want it to be and what I'm accustomed to doing. So that's been frustrating. It's been challenging, but I'm proud of myself because I haven't thrown in the towel or said, oh, this just isn't working out. I've kept working. I've stuck to working hard and doing what I feel can put me in a good position to make plays. I just I got to make them ultimately.
Why do you think it hasn't given you the production that you'd expect?
I mean, I don't know. At times, I mean, I felt like I was in perfect position to make a play, and I feel like in years past, like that play has happened, but for some reason this year it didn't. Like last week when we played the Jets, I come behind the guy, hit the ball. He drops the ball, but then catches it before it hits the ground. It's like if he doesn't catch it before it hits the ground, it's a forced fumble, and then that helps my production. But it's like he happened to catch it before it hit the ground. So there's been I can think of a couple other plays like that, in the New Orleans game, Denver game, things like that, where in Detroit where I'm right there, and it just it hasn't ultimately happened. So. But like I mentioned earlier, I'm not deterred. I'm still working. I'm still 4 games left, and I'm hoping to be productive for this team down the stretch and be a difference maker.
How would you say the thumb is now? And are you still wearing anything protective or anything like that? Yeah. When did that go to the wayside?
I forget what week I stopped wearing the little splint, but yeah, it doesn't hurt or anything. Still working to get the motion back, but I would not call it an issue now. No.
Scheme-wise, I know scheme was an adjustment too, a little bit different. Have you kind of settled in a little bit more with the scheme and what they're asking you to do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I said earlier, been 13, 14 weeks now. I've kind of gotten adjusted to what I need to do, and just gotta, like I said, gotta make plays. Gotta make plays when I'm in there.
Playing time, you're used to playing 70-80% of the snaps. I think you're at 30-31% this year. How are you dealing with that, and how's that affect you?
I mean, what I learned last year is when you're in this kind of role where you're not playing the lion's share, is that you really got to strike when your opportunities are there. And I haven't been able to do that so far this year, but still 4 games and 4 big division games left. So I'm hoping that I can make some hay down this backstretch.
Have you had a chance to talk to any of your friends in Washington this week and what they're dealing with?
I haven't actually. I haven't talked to any of them. I didn't want to bug any of them. I know they're obviously got some stuff going on there, so I didn't want to be another text message that they had to attend to or anything. And so I haven't had a chance to talk to any of them. But I just hope hopefully that kind of slows down there.
What's your reaction like as a player?
What is your reaction to that? All those cases. I think it's 22 now, and there's even some speculation in places that maybe the game could be postponed.
I mean, my first thought is I just hope all the guys are okay. I hope whatever they're feeling, hopefully they're not really feeling bad and their symptoms aren't bad, and hopefully they're healthy. But I hope that's the end of it. I mean, you don't want to see any team going through this, especially with these important games coming up. You want to see each team at their full capacity.
Ryan, do you have concern in the game playing against this team? Do you have concern given the number of COVID cases they have?
No, I haven't really thought about it like that. I'm gonna trust that when we're out there and that it's gonna be all healthy individuals out there.
Does it have that circled on your calendar when the schedule came out?
Not really. I mean, from a standpoint of it'll be cool to see old friends and old faces and whatnot, but from a anything more than that, and the fact that it's a division game, no, nothing really more than that.
You said, Ryan, that you're proud of yourself for the way that you sort of continue to do what you normally do. What has it been difficult? The lack of production, sort of working through that. What have you done to sort of keep going?
Just kind of telling myself that you can't, just because the results that you want aren't there doesn't mean you just say and throw in the towel. Like you got to and this is something I'm going to try to impart on my daughters later in life if they're ever having a tough time or whatnot. That just because what you want isn't you haven't been getting what you want exactly doesn't mean you just give up and say, oh, to hell with this. Like you got to keep working. You got to keep working because you never know when the right opportunity is going to be there for you, and you got to be ready to take advantage of it.
Is that mentality coming from you, or is that mentality coming from you, or is that something you picked up from someone else?
It's mostly been me, but like I just my wife's really helped, been someone I talk to a lot about that, and she's she's kind of reminded me, this is be a good thing to kind of impart on the girls in life. So yeah, kind of trying to think of it from a dad angle, I guess.
What's the feedback you've kind of gotten from JG and Tracy Rocker, and what have they told you as the season has gone on, how you're fitting into the defense?
I mean, it's been good coming back from them. So like I said, I'm putting myself in some decent positions. I just got to capitalize when I'm there, and just haven't done that yet, but still opportunities left.
If I can ask one kind of off-the-wall question here. Purdue has their top pass rushers probably since you. What do you know about him? And
you talking about George?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know about him? And I guess what are his strengths?
Dude's awesome, man. He's really versatile. He's a big dude. Like I saw him over the summer. I was back up at Purdue, and man, he's 275, and he's a lean 275. Like I was surprised to learn he weighed that much. He's way he carries it, and I'm really proud of him. He had a lot of expectations coming into Purdue, given that he picked Purdue over some pretty heavy hitter schools, and was a local kid, so had that to carry as well, and he's done nothing but make Purdue people proud, and I know I'm really proud of him, and I'm excited that he's taking the next step and going on to the NFL, and I just hope he has an awesome career, and I'm gonna be following him every step of the way.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, no problem.